Peace, family. How's everybody doing? I hope that you all are having a wonderful day so far. My name is Keisha. I am the owner of A Way of Life. I am a career and business coach using astrology. Today, we're going to be talking about the Cancer full moon happening on the 17th. Cancer is at home in the moon. It's its ruling planet. It rules home, safety, family, compassion, nurturing, mother, your soul family or your generational lineage, your bloodline, emotional security, financial security, actual security. And it's very well that we could be feeling strong about our children or any of these Cancer themes in any way, but specifically things connected to children around power and control issues and vulnerability. There may be like a strong need to protect Cancer themes at this time. You definitely want to make sure you're doing self-care anytime the moon is in Cancer. It intensifies the feminine energy. And, for a really long time, I've been having this conversation around the rising of the male energy because all these structures are falling, and in my personal opinion, they are all built off of or able to be built off of the female energy, because the females are the ones who are on top mostly, and they're the ones kind of keeping these structures going. We're quote unquote doing really well. Meanwhile, it's breaking up our families, and we have no economic base because of it. And energetically, as these structures fall, women, I think, are going to feel this challenge just a little bit more now around these themes that I've been talking about for women. Just more tired, maybe even again having a real focus on children. If you have children, the need to protect them. I know there's a lot of things out there with the kids going back to school and whatnot or whatever, and they're still trying to make these kids take these, can't really say it, or they'll shut your channel down. Whatever. But y'all know what I'm talking about. And I feel like women are going to start to feel stronger about homeschooling and just nurturing, being more nurturing, doing the feminine things that we are so hard out here fighting not to do. I'm pretty sure a lot of women are getting tired now. I've been talking about this since, I'm pretty sure it was the end of 2020 when Mars had that long transit in Aries. I think I called that video Rise of the Male Energy, and I talked about how men are going to come back and fight for their place in the world. And I think it's a necessary thing. I do feel like as women, what we went through and why we're in the position that we're in now, it was a necessary evil. Sometimes you got to walk a mile in somebody's shoes to understand what men are really going through. Not to say that women aren't, but I'm pretty sure you do now, for real. And we're tired. I know I am. I can speak for myself. So really learning how to be more submissive, especially with that Venus and Capricorn energy, and asking yourself the real tough questions. What do you really want? You know, what are you willing to give up? What spaces are you willing to free yourself from to give men their spot back? And men, what work are you willing to do? You know, because unfortunately, there's not a lot of male leadership in the world. We're certainly not seeking it out. And it's a missing energy that we need to bounce off the energy, because we are just way, 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 way too much in our feminine energy. I got men crying and complaining about relationships and what women ain't doing no more, but they are not in their male energy. You know, they're not bringing home the bacon and solving problems, and you know, so I really feel like this is a necessary evil, something that needs to happen. It might look and feel ugly for now, energetically. Maybe even a lot of relationships coming to an end, divorce, breakups, miscommunication. You know, sometimes things just need to get shaken up a bit so you can see what it is you need to change. And so hit that like, share, and subscribe button, family. Hit the notification bell so anytime we come on, you'll be notified as to when we're going live. We appreciate it in advance. But yeah, self-care for women. We might be really, really focused on that. Sleepy, feeling a lack of energy. If you need to grieve, grieve. Right? If you need to cry. But don't deny your emotions. This is not the time to be worrying about what people, you know, that all that strong, you know, see this as the movie you watch that makes you cry, i.e. making it okay to cry. But, you know, really release, let some of that energy go. It can cause health issues too, family, when you hold back those things. So this could even be around women having health issues due to the lack of male energy. And I know y'all are like, now what the fuck you talking about, Keisha? I mean, there's so many things I can say about that, but women are doing too much, and we're not built for that. We're just not. And the bigger picture is that the children being raised for the next generation are not being raised in a way that's ethical and economical for our growth and betterment as a humanity. And somebody's got to do the job, because these kids are out here lost. They don't know what the fuck to do with themselves, and they're following in the footsteps that are out there. And we need to be able to set up better places where they can go and be to get the right education to set them up correctly for the future. And it's a real problem. It's a real problem. So choosing a simple life, I think with that, we're going to see these themes coming up quite heavily over the next few years. Mark my word. Now, y'all going to put some respect on my name, right? Don't be like, I've been telling y'all since the end of 2020 that this change was coming. And, you know, it's not about right or wrong. So I should even just take like 3 steps back and not do that. I'm genuinely seeing it. I'm feeling this energy myself. I do not want to send my son back to school. I don't feel like he's in the right hands. Like, I'm fighting for his life, because I'm afraid that he's just going to be another statistic And I'm tired of living in that revolving door. I'm tired of it. And I have no support, really, because everybody's got their own issues to deal with now, so we really need to challenge ourselves to change the narratives. Otherwise, we are going to be slaves again. We are going to perish, because the systems and structures that are set up right now is a death culture. All right. So we're going to be choosing the simple life, where women cook now. You grow your own food. And let me not just put it on women, because now that we've had the opportunity for both people to live in both shoes, I think we're all going to fight for equality in a way where there's equal give and take. You know your role and they know theirs, right? And continuously challenge ourselves to do better and be better. So growing our own food, cooking our own food, not really depending on the restaurants and stuff. We're going to go back to doing things the natural way that we did. Not just because of the energy, but remember, these structures are falling because they was built off of a lie anyway. So that we have the sun opposite the moon every time. So sun in Capricorn opposite the moon in Cancer. Anytime you have a full moon, there's always this opposition. And then it's going to be conjunct Pluto. So we're really letting go of things that are not true for us. And when the truth of a situation is revealed, it allows you to heal, because that reality has been shattered now. It's not true. So now you got to build a new one. And what is that going to be for you? Some of the lower vibrations are going to be mindful of running away from things. If you're noticing that you're running away from things, you should try and work with that and figure out why. Another thing with this Pluto energy is you could want to be having control over others. That's a part of this infrastructure and teachings that are falling. They're no longer going to be there for you to lean on. So you got to find another modality on how to deal with people. So deal with that. Pluto energy is great for counseling. I know a lot of, Black people don't really like getting counseling. I highly advise you to find a spiritual leader, even if it's astrology and tarot. That is a form of counseling. But you have people out here who are already about that life. Do your research. Get into circles. I really think Clubhouse is good for this. There's a lot of people on there just delving out information, or at the very least, it's a place where you can go to hear somebody have an intelligent conversation instead of looking at the news or watching TV or scrolling on social media, watching all the ratchet shit, Be very, very, very mindful of what your eyes are taking in at this time, because you are in a process of manifestation. We know this already. We talk about this all the time as conscious community, as spiritual people, right? And so now it's time to do the work and mean what you say and say what you mean, right? And you're really going to have the opportunity to clear negative energy that's distracting you. It's going to be real intense too. This stuff is not easy. Y'all know that. I talk about Pluto all the time. You're going to really have that opportunity to ask the tough questions. What is changing in your Capricorn area of life, especially because Venus has been there. You can feel exhausted from the Capricorn energy. Again, vulnerable, sensitive, even burden, discomfort, or the need to escape from what's going on, what's being hidden, especially around your emotions. So again, cry, 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 cry. Watch a movie if it's hard for you to do it. I get it. You know, I get it. I used to have a hard time crying too. But if you feel the need, go watch something that you know is going to make you cry and get that stuff out. This full moon is activating the Pluto return in February. I've done a few videos on that already, and very, very in depth. So you already know. If you haven't listened to them already, I highly suggest you go back and watch any video that says Pluto on it. It's going to give you a lot more information as to what it is I'm talking about here. But with the connection to Pluto, this is overall about sovereignty and freedom from power and control, you know. In that video, I talked about how the Pluto return is like going back 258, right? I think it's like 1856 when America was founded, if you will. And so when I think about that, I just posted a video with Dr. Phil Valentine. And you know, I've been talking about this class that I'm taking around this esoteric knowledge and this ancient Egyptian energy. And I'm telling you, what I see coming down the line is all about the patriarch. That's, you know, we only began the story from when America began and slavery and all that other stuff. We've never been, you know, there's no history. Well, there is history out there, but it's not in the mainstream. I'll put it like that. They're not teaching what was before all of this. And I feel like this is what's, when I say we're going to go back to the simple life, is this is what we're going to go back to understanding more of, right? What we was doing before we got all this extra shit, you know, when we was just living off the land, minding our business, you know. You know, so you gotta study the male energy and where we came from before slavery. Before slavery. That's what we want to focus on now. Before slavery. And I feel like a lot more people, especially with this ancestral line, Cancer moon energy, the lineage, this is going to be coming out a lot more. A lot more. And then the sun will sextile Neptune and moon trine Neptune. Again, this is boundless energy. This Neptune is the ancestral line, you know, especially the spiritual beings and the deities and your divine messages, you know. We're going to be connecting with that energy, our destiny, and awakening our intuition, really opening up our creative juices, right? Because we have to, as this world and old idea falls, we have to create a new one. And what is that going to be like? And so you could be having a lot of ideas about your mission and purpose in that sense. And what is it that you're here to do? And how does that help humanity, right? How does that help the children especially? Really got to understand economics here. And I feel like even saying that can fuck people up because they're like, fuck economics. Nothing is about money, especially when you're having a conversation about Neptune. But believe it or not, you already know they stole everything from us. We did have an economic base, you know, and it didn't look like what it looks like today. It was very different. but it was still an economic base. You know, it held up an economy for the next generation to succeed and for people to be able to live lives in such a way where they didn't have to want for anything. You know, and you really got to go back and understand what that is for you. And then Mercury, will be retrograde by the time this happens. I think it would have just went 3 days prior to this full moon. Is going to conjunct Uranus. This is intelligence, you know, sees the bigger picture and is trying to come up with solutions. Mercury retrograde is going to hit Pluto too. And that's going to be about, again, more secrets coming out about things that are probably going to force you to have some conversations that you really might need to process. Like, damn, you could be learning a lot here. There could be a lot of things being revealed at this time that's going to make people like, well, this is really real, you know, because we're getting to the crux of this energy, you know, where things about to topple over. And really process things, think things through, and then make a decision. And I say that for a few different reasons, but mostly because we're still going to be in a retrograde. We're not really seeing things clear. There's still more pieces that are going to come in that you're going to need, that are going to be added to the stories that you already got. And then you got to really, again, sit down and figure out what the hell are you going to do. And then Venus also goes direct. Is it the 19th? I believe it's on the 19th. Don't quote me on that, family. And she's been in Capricorn, which is the opposition of this full moon for the last, 6 months, right? And she's been reprogramming herself and her feminine energy, her feminine expression, from a place of mastery. Whenever we're talking about Capricorn energy, we're mastering something here. And a commitment to herself of whatever it is that is changing in you now with everything that you've gathered or let go of. You know, I really feel like this is really dope. I did a video on Venus morning star and evening star on the 9th, which is, I think it's tomorrow. I'm recording this on Saturday the 8th. And Sunday the 9th, if you get a chance, if you haven't already, listen to that video. It's a new cycle starting on Venus energy in general. And I really, 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 really like this. Especially for me. I'm learning. I actually had a dream. What was that? Thursday night or Wednesday night. And it was real weird. It's about like my grandmother, whom I've never gotten along with since junior high school, believe it or not. And she has made attempts in the past to try to rekindle our relationship, but I had never really been interested because I still to this day don't know why she did what she did. And she's, you know, she's older. She's pretty stuck in her ways. I'm pretty sure she ain't going to sit down and try to explain to me. She just wanted to come in and be at places supporting me when I was going through some things. And I was grateful. But it was also very unsettling because, you know, we don't talk. So it was like, what the fuck are you doing here, though? Like, for real. And I don't hate her. I don't want to say that I hate her. But I don't know, you know. And so I don't trust anybody who thinks that they can come back in your life without having a conversation with you. And they think that they could just come back and it just felt like more of what she did to me in the first place, right? Like, know my place kind of thing. And I get it as a parent today. I understand that methodology, but you already know, if you've been following me for a long time, that over generations, you are supposed to grow with the times. If you're not challenging yourself to change with the times, you get left behind. And so you're coming to somebody who's very well educated and aware of things with an old mindset. And it's just like, okay, I forgive you, but I still don't trust you. You know, like, we can be cool from a distance, but I know that when my brother got married, she was having some health issues. I think she's got cancer now. So when I had this dream, I freaked out because my mother was also in it. And I'm pretty sure I talked about my relationship with my mother. And we don't get along as well either, because she's an addict. So she's got that victim mentality of everything that happens to her is not her fault because she wasn't taught it. And we know that storyline, right? We know what she's talking about, and she's right. You know, she's for the most part. But like I said, if you're not challenging yourself to change with time, all those kind of, after a while, sound like the boy who cried wolf, you know, and excuses. And even though, like I said, I forgive you, I get it, I understand. But when you're talking to somebody who took the time out, I was in counseling for 10 years, and I'm still educating myself and challenging myself to grow and change. And though I can't expect people to do what I do, it's not what I'm saying, but I can't refute the knowledge and education that I have either. And so when I look at those types of things, I'm like, I hear you, but I don't trust you. And we can be friends from a distance, right? And so because of that theory with this Cancer full moon coming up, I'm like, damn, what the fuck is this shit trying to tell me? And it wasn't bad. You know, it wasn't like anything bad happened in the dream. It appeared that we lived together. My grandmother had her room, and it was light too. That was the thing that really stuck out to me the most, that scared me. I'm like, damn, man, I hope. And I had to gain the guts to call my mom because I was afraid of what I was going to hear. I was like, damn, I hope this isn't a prediction, you know, that she's coming to me in my dream to, you know, say her goodbyes or whatever. And so, you know, it was no bad blood, but it was one room, and her room was lit up where my grandmother was, and she was just in there watching TV, and I was in there sitting with her chatting a little bit. It looked like I had some clothes on, like a hoodie and a pants, and I was crossing through like a living room, and as I was crossing through the living room, I seen a white rat with red eyes. And I was like, okay. And I kind of like, I'm not going to lie, I kind of like jumped back at the rat, like, what? I don't know what that was all about. And then I went to my mom's room. Now, my mom's room wasn't that light. It was dim, but it was still a jovial, upbeat feeling. And I was in there, and my son was in there with her, my 5-year-old. Right here, right now. So this was like happening in the present time, which really fucked me up because, like I said, I don't talk to either one of them, nor do I think about them on a regular basis at all. And I don't say that like I'm not proud of that. I think it's sad, obviously, but I don't, you know. And so I'm freaking out like, what the fuck is this dream trying to tell me? And I don't have dreams, family. I'm not the dreamer, at least, you know, unconsciously wise like this. And when I'm sleeping, I dream big, you know. I mean, I'm a career coach, so. But it just really, really, really threw me off. And I woke up just a little bit off that morning. And like I said, I had to gain the courage to call my mom because I was really afraid of what I was going to hear. And, you know, my mom is now not talking to her, so she doesn't know. And she's not in contact with the family, so I don't know. But that was crazy. And as I went to go research to do, you know, the dream meanings and stuff, it was like that I've reached a milestone. I'm paraphrasing here. Like I know, and I know in my heart that this is true. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I know I still have like miles of work to do on this, but that I've mastered my feminine energy now. What I know I've never talked about, because it was so hard for me, is that my son's father is a Cancer. My oldest son is a Cancer, and I know I've told that story about them. So I've always had issues with Cancer energy in general. And for a really long time, I was like everybody else. And I was like, I fucking hate Cancers. They can fucking kick rocks. Those people are evil. They're the devil. All of it. You could imagine, right? Until, again, I started learning and educating myself. And as I got into astrology, I learned that my moon, my natal moon, is in Cancer. And it's my North Node at that, along with my MC too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't quote me on that much, but I mean, it's a pretty fucking important part of my life. And so the more I began to learn and understand that, I was like, fuck, so you mean that I really like have to understand this and really like I had to understand that moon and Cancer energy to the depths. And like I said, I still got a long way to go. I promise you I do. But I know that I've hit a milestone because I studied this stuff. And I understand now that you have to be submissive. You have to be in this feminine energy of sitting back and learning how to receive. And I've made many a moons ago you know, manifestations to really embody that energy. And I know I felt it in my heart over these last few months with things that have happened in my life, that I've surpassed a specific milestone. Like I'm okay with my past, you know, and it was a really, really, really good feeling. It was more reassurance to all the other things that I've been experiencing. And I'm actually like really quite genuinely looking forward to continue growing in this energy and manifesting everything that is meant for me. And so I went on that whole long tangent because this Venus going direct is literally a new cycle for people. And so I hope by sharing my story that you get more understanding from a personal perspective and not just through the astrology of what this could be for you, and understanding how you're growing, and hopefully you are experiencing the very uplifting energy that I am. And even if you're not, now you know what you can do to work on it, right? You gotta go in and do the work and ask the tough questions, right? And I think it's dope. I really, really do. I think it's really dope. So, and I like this because it's in an earth sign. So this is really manifesting in reality. These themes, whatever is coming up for this Venus going direct energy, choosing what you want as who you are and standing in your power. And then Uranus and Taurus goes direct. I'll be doing a bigger video on that. Maybe. I don't know yet. Because I feel like, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I better not say it, and then I don't get to. But it is a very important transit. Now, I've done videos on Uranus and Taurus before, so you could go back and check that out. I think it'll be very helpful for you to do so, because now all those themes, when it went retrograde, are now going to start moving forward in a very fast pace, because we're talking about Uranus here. This is the futuristic energy and freedom and awakening. You know, shocking events can come out, earthquakes, even political earthquakes, social unrest. But the thing is about this, because it's this full moon is rattling that Pluto return energy, is that I really, really think that we're going to see a lot more structures and systems really becoming unstable and really falling with business. We talked about that a little bit more in that Mercury to Capricorn energy, where you might see a lot of businesses merging to try to stay alive, or, you know, they change their name and whatnot or whatever, if they can do it. Even some money things, investments. I know that more long-term businesses are a lot more stable to invest in, or doing puts to secure yourself for, it might be a bumpy road investment-wise. Or be careful for like crypto and Bitcoin, because they're like the newer companies and the newer technology things, the new age stuff might not be so secure, because like what we found out when we all started our businesses in 2020 is that you need capital to keep those things going. And if you're not making the capital, you're not going to stand the test of time. And so, you know, I talk about Saturn always comes in and shows us where the cracks in our foundation are, so that we can rebuild and do better, though. So I highly recommend that people study economics from somebody who's intelligent. I talk about Dr. Boyce Watkins all the time. I absolutely love his whole freaking face. But, you know, find somebody who works, you know, who is aligning with your energy and your beliefs and what you think it is. And really get into the NFTs and the Ethereum. And I feel like the only reason why NFTs, Ethereum, and the metaverse are so concrete right now is because the reason why they don't want this to be a thing is because it's decentralized. So this has nothing. It's almost like, now I don't know correct terms and stuff, so you really, really, really got to go do your own research, family. But how I'm understanding it is that you're literally using your debt to pay for things instead of your money. That's how I understand this. And that's what they, you know, if you know anything about money, your credit, your interest, and how they got this system set up, that's how they get you. That's why, like, I mean, there's so much I can say. I really don't want to spend too much time on this, but it's best when you're doing services is to get somebody to do like a subscription, something that's revolving, because it's more stable, it's a guaranteed income. And so the way they have their system set up, you know, like it's an interest that is, you know, it's like a subscription, because it's continuously keeping you in a bind, in debt. And it was specifically set up for that purpose. And so that's what the big fuss about Ethereum, NFTs, and the metaverse is really all about. And so I highly recommend people to do the research. Just start looking at stuff. Get a book, read, listen to videos, because we are in retrograde, right? We're not starting anything new, but the new is still coming in, and it's more like retrogrades. Obviously, people have things to do, so I try not to be that person that says, don't do this on a retrograde because it's not going to work out. It really depends on your chart, right? But typically what we're talking about here is that because things just might not be so clear, is that there are a few things that are going to happen. Whatever you start new now, especially around these specific Venus, Venusian, Mercurial themes, right? You are going to undoubtedly have to redo them again because you missed something, right? You're just going to have to go over it again or start new again, or you're going to get some new information that you didn't know before, you know, like that kind of thing. Now with relationships, it's a lot more, you know, if you start something new, you can actually catch an STD. So be real careful. Or like somebody's coming in, but they're wearing a mask. So they're not really who they say they are. And then once the energy clears up, you find out they broke as fuck in a whole damn marriage with 3 other baby mamas. And, you know, I'm over exaggerating, but you understand what I mean. And so in this case, you'll actually have better chances of releasing and dealing with anything from the past. Now, I feel like past relationships are more likely to work if there was no discord and it was just a minor miscommunication, right? Because everybody says if it didn't work out in the past, there's a reason for that. Leave it alone. So 9 times out of 10, if people are coming back from the past, what you really should be focusing on, again, is taking it slow, day by day. Don't make any definitive decisions until the direct motion, and ask the important questions. You know, take this time to really see if what it was when it happened was what it was. And you continue that until you feel like you got the truth. And or again, this is just about getting closure to something so that you can close that chapter and move on. And so I really, really like this though. I like this energy around this, because we'll see a lot more of the new technologies coming out because some systems and structures are going to fall. And so that's going to be pretty exciting to see. And then the nodes actually change on the 19th or the 18th and to Taurus and Scorpio. And I've done a few different videos on that as well. You can go check those out. Until July 23rd. I mean, 2003, sorry. Oh, I said that with so much conviction, too. And these are, again, more themes around currency, banking, wealth, the economy, nature, earth, the simple things, growing things, farming, farmers markets, microgreens growing in the home. Microgreens, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, but don't quote me on that. Do your research, family. What you need, what you don't need, what you value. And then in Scorpio, this is more money themes. Oh my God, why is the word missing me right now? It's money from your partner. There's an actual word for it, but my brain is like, boop, you talk too much. Okay. Money from your spouse, investments, debt, defaults, taxes, insurances, secrets, sex, especially these scandals with the power and control stuff. Y'all already see what's going on with the Epstein thing. Pretty sure a whole bunch of shit's gonna be coming out about that. I'm not ready. Okay? And then lastly, Mars squares Saturn, which is more attempts of control. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be that because of what's coming out. There's going to be a lot of social unrest. People are going to get crazy and they're going to be like, oh yeah, you won't get crazy. So I say mind your business. Okay? Let them white folks do what they do. And you fix your family and do what you do. This is the best time for an offense. You know? This is time for you to, okay, they ain't paying attention now because they embarrassed and shit. They got shit coming out that they ain't want nobody to know. This is when you take advantage. You start planning with your people and get shit right, you know? But anyway, family, as usual, I've been on here far too freaking long. But I hope that this information is helping you in some way, shape, or form.